Welcome, everyone, to Constructed Chaos, where we run our D&D live streams every single Wednesday and Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time, and where tonight we are running episode 3 of A Decay in Darkwell, our Chat Plays D&D campaign born anew with all of our fresh friends and fresh faces here in the chat. I see so many of you here tonight ready to get the party started because as we left our last session, several of the characters were on the verge of death. So I don't want to keep us waiting too long, but I do have a couple of surprises for you. First and foremost, last Wednesday, there was a little bit of a Black Friday deal going on our chaos points. And as you well know, you can now construct chaos during our Chat Plays D&D sessions. Well, I figured I might as well roll that into Cyber Monday too. So tonight only, your chaos points when you use the chaos command to construct chaos and generate some random chaotic event to occur are going to count for double. So whatever you contribute will count for double. Y'all got really close to constructing chaos last Wednesday, so it's still just kind of on the precipice. I fully expect you guys to bring the chaos tonight. That all said, the other people bringing the chaos tonight are our friends over at Tabletop Beard. Check them out if you haven't already. Tonight we have the Rogue Beard Oil, which smells like evening cologne, and it's definitely one of my favorites. I use it whenever I'm getting dressed up or doing anything fancy, and if you guys want to try some different scents that are themed to tabletop role-playing game classes and characters, you can go to their website. The link is in the description below, and use code CHAOS20 for 20% off or whatever the best deal is for Cyber Monday. I'm not sure if they're running anything, but when they do, they always upgrade us to the very best that they have to offer. So check out our friends over at Tabletop Beard. They've sponsored the stream for a long time. We love them very, very much. And also, check out the comment from last session coming in from a new friend, Danny Leo, here in the chat tonight. He said, "Grand adventure thus far, and hopefully these ragtag rescuers are at least somewhat friendly." Yeah, you know what? I'm hoping they're friendly too. So yeah, thank you very much for the comment, Danny. I went ahead and gave you 1,000 chaos points in the chat. I'm sure you're going to put those to good use tonight. I really appreciate all of you guys being here. This is by far, this is only the second Chat Plays D&D that we've run so far, but it is by far the most popular that we have run. You guys have made some amazing backstories for these characters that are tying into the session and the campaign at large as we go along. It's really fun to watch and play through with all of you. If you're new here and you haven't already, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of these. And if you're exceptionally new and you're not sure how the system works, make sure to type !guidance in the chat to get a rundown on how it works, and then !roleplay to join in the running to pilot these characters as we musical chairs our way through this entire campaign. It's a whole lot of fun, and it's completely free. So I hope you guys enjoy. Do also check out our friends over at Darkport. I don't want to forget them because they stream every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Their link is also in the description below, and that means you can do Monday here, Tuesday there, and then Wednesday right back here for 3 days in a row of D&D. That all said, I won't keep you waiting any longer, so it's time to finally roll that beautiful bean footage.
Within the moisture-laden bogs northwest of Torvosa, you struggle towards the village of Darkwell. A dense haze dampens your senses, while the sludge-thick ground stifles your movements. A seemingly coordinated effort by the jungle to drag you down into its mired existence. You nearly succumb to its embrace during a clash with several wild beasts, unlike anything you've ever seen before. Near the end, a towering cart drawn by a massive boar bursts through the rotten trees. Figures ride the creature and its wagon, their weapons trained ahead. Chains snap taut, the boar digs in with a deep squeal, and a constrictor snake you barely felled is dragged inside as the cage slams shut. The other creatures scatter in the uproar, and the hunters, breathing hard, mud-splattered and wary, now turn their attention to you.
Welcome back, everyone. Now that all of you have seen the intro, we can begin our session where we left off last as we see who's piloting these characters. Make sure to type !roleplay in the chat if you want to join in the running. As we get things underway, people are already constructing chaos here. I'm very, very aware of how chaotic you all can be. So first and foremost, let's see who's going to be piloting Ayla Silverleaf, our elven paladin tonight, who is left on just 1 hit point from last session. Saft will be in the seat of Ayla as we move on to our rogue, Nyx Shadowheart, who was left on just 2 hit points after last session. Let's see. Jason is going to be piloting Nyx, right back in the driver's seat. Good to see you, friend. And finally, the Lindra, who is perhaps the worst for wear with just 27 hit points left. Russell will be piloting the Lindra. Welcome back in. The three of you are very, very much regulars of the channel.
1 horsepower pally here. 1 horsepower pally here.
1 horsepower pally here. Yeah, don't forget, you don't have to use the say command anymore. Anything you type in chat will be spoken aloud. So save that say command so that it doesn't burn through your uses. I should probably just turn that off, but just in case, I have it on. So as we get things underway, you all were just left after an intense combat with a constrictor snake and several sturges that were causing quite a bit of damage to you and your group as you tried to pull your hand cart out of the mud. Another much larger cart pulled by a giant boar swung through the forest as you felled the constrictor snake, gathering that snake up into a cage on the back of their cart. 3 hunters now present themselves to you after scaring away the sturge swarm as the Furbolg, who seems to be their leader, steps up. Looks like you were in a bit of trouble. Lucky we came when we did. You all need anything? Anything I can help you with? You two in particular seem like you're a bit worse for wear. This area is dangerous. I don't know if you realize what you've stumbled into. What do you all say to that? In particular, Ayla and Nyx, who are pretty damaged at this stage.
Seeing the handsome and manly man hunters, Nyx nudges the Lindra and whispers, "I like the one with the beard. How about you, sister? I bet he's got some great beard oil. He can rescue me anytime."
Well, thank you kindly. Having overheard that, the Furbolg sort of steps up. He's got sort of a rust-colored cowboy hat, as well as a very thin beard that descends into a sort of long goatee.
If
As
you
he
have
sort of
potions
scratches
of
at it.
healing or water, we would greatly appreciate it. I can be dropped with a feather.
Well, now, potion of healing, I don't think you're going to come by many of those here, but we got plenty of water, and clean water at that. Don't you worry. He kind of whistles to the grung, who he calls out, "Rick Till, why don't you get him some water there? This one looks particularly parched. Maybe just enough to cleanse their wounds as well. We don't want any infections now, do we?" As the grung begins to maneuver over to a large barrel on the back of the cart that has a spigot on it, opens it up, pouring into a small water skin. He maneuvers over to you, mumbling something under his breath. And he holds out the water skin for you to take a drink. If you would like to, you certainly can. With that, the male lizard folk now steps forward.
Pharaoh, I don't know if it is wise to be taking travelers this deep in the thick of things. Our supplies were running thin as it is.
Well, now, these people are guests in our land.
Much
As I
obliged, my amphibious companion.
Well,
which you kind of take to mean don't mention it, as he swipes the water skin back, takes a glug himself. His throat sort of bellows as he swallows, and then he sort of waddles back to the cart as he checks on the chains surrounding the constrictor snake cage, opens up the gate with the constrictor snake still unconscious, and begins to kind of look them over. You see him pull out a couple of small bandages, stitching up the snake and wrapping up the areas where you were able to drive a knife in. What do you think, Rick Till? Can it be saved? Well, seems like payday is on the horizon still. Luckily, we got here when we did. Wouldn't want you killing these creatures. Our clientele wants them alive.
Nyx smiles at the manly cowboy hunter, revealing her sharp-drilled teeth. Her fiery red eyes give him a wink. Thank you, you man hunter. I am very grateful for you and your friends rescuing us.
Well, now, of course, couldn't rightly leave you stuck in the mud and bleeding out after you did so much of the dirty work for us. As a matter of fact, the least I could do is maybe give you guys a ride into town. Well, based on the direction, it looks like you were headed to Darkwell. But based on your situation, perhaps you didn't know where exactly you were headed. That cart there, it's not going to make it in these lands. You need bigger wheels, something that can pull it along.
I would love to ride into town next to you.
Well, certainly. I think I could make an arrangement for you to sit right up on the cart with me. For the most part, we like to ride the boar, but given the situation and the fact that you may need to grab a couple of things from that cart of yours, we could scrounge up a little extra space on our here vehicular. I'll say also, Jason, as Nyx, make a persuasion check to see how well you can sort of charm this furbolg. First roll of the night. You guys got quite a bit of chaos saved up, and I did look at the points behind the scenes. I can tell you this is the final stage before it goes off. So, exclamation point R persuasion. Almost, Jason. You almost got it. Just a little typo. I have been still working on the feature that I think will eliminate some of these typos, but like I said, I want it to be perfect. And we had some, holiday family stuff this past week. I was a little busy. There's an extra S. There's an extra S. Jason, you're so close, man. We had some spell check in the last campaign, but it caused more problems than it was preventing, so I had to turn it off. It was correcting things like dex
We
to
appreciate
D20.
your kindness, Giantkin. We do wonder what you would want of us and what it would mean to you if we said you were right.
Oh, well, I'm no giant, but I am flattered. I suppose I am taller than your average furbolg. But yeah, of course, what I would want of you all to just be safe. Like I said, you did much of the dirty work for us. It's the least I could do, giving you a ride back into town. And you see the lizard folk behind him sort of scoff.
Outsiders know nothing of these lands.
Danny, it is not bad that you want to play the grung right now. I love playing the grung. Jason, with your persuasion, you can tell that the furbolg actually is kind of taking a bit of a liking to you, especially with the fact that you wear a lot
Nyx stays close to the cowboy hunter as she gives him furtive flirtations to get on his good side.
He maybe even drops an arm around you. He says, Now you, I can tell you're pretty well acquainted with these parts. You're not in the particular garb of those that come from outside of Darkwell, now are you? Seems like you may know a thing or two that I don't. I think we should get to know each other, maybe. Once again, you hear the lizard folk scoff as he maybe throws a couple of things. All right, Sakar, just get saddled up on the boar there. We're going to ride the wagon. Anything you guys want out of that cart there, you should probably grab now. I can't imagine we could bring everything, but, you know, the essentials, of course. Whatever you think is most important, most valuable to you, and whatever else is probably just going to sink right into the mud there. Don't always get to do a country accent on stream, but I'm doing my damnedest. Is there anything in particular you guys are trying to grab from the cart? And also, I will say, I meant to do this when they first got there, but as he sort of looks around, he's so little lady. I didn't really catch your name, but is that your bear over there? Pretty well trained, given it was fighting with you all.
Thylindra grabs Bramble's lucky rope and the turnips.
I am Nyx, mistress of shadows and darkness. I follow the goddess of the moon and the god of swiftness.
Oh, Nyx. Well, I'm Pharaoh. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. The bear over there just talked to you. I don't know if you noticed that, but that's pretty peculiar. And in my line of work, that could fetch a pretty high price if you're selling. I don't mean to push your hand in any particular direction, but we're friends, and I figure I should let you know what you got is quite rare. He's, of course, looking over at Thylindra, who's still wild-shaped as a brown bear. But at the very least, Thylindra, you pull out the turnips and the
Pharrell
lucky
is a
rope.
very nice name. Don't worry about Thylindra. You'll like her more as a bear than a woman.
I am
Oh.
Ayla, paladin of the ancients. That bear is our druid sister Thylindra.
I see. Well, that is quite rare. In that case, I would not want you all to sell off your friend, of course. I mean no disrespect. Of course. And he sort of moves back to the cart. You see the grung, who's now finished bandaging up the snake, has climbed on top of the cage, checks on the chains, and sort of looks over to the three of you and counts on 3 fingers, then licks an eye with his tongue as he then saddles up on the boar behind Sakar, the lizard folk. If you all are ready, I think it's probably just about time we get a little shut-eye. It's been a long day, and a long day still to get to Darkwell from here. There's only one place I know of this close that could get us some sanctuary, some safety. If you're amenable to that, then I suggest we make our way there, over to Clinna's Perch. It's a little outcropping near the foothills of the mountains north. That sounds agreeable. I'll have
We
one
are
of you chime
sister,
in.
born under the same moon. We are on a mission, a quest of sorts. Your help will surely put you in favor with the gods. Wink, wink.
Well, I certainly would love to be in their favor after the life that I've lived, and I count my blessings to be in yours too. With that, I think we should head. Hit! And then the boar begins to snort as it begins to clamber ahead through the muck. As it starts, it does kick up a little bit of mud. Nyx, I'll say that Pharaoh actually takes his leather cape and throws it in front of you to shield you from some of the mud that's being kicked back from the boar's gate getting started. And wouldn't want those fancy leathers getting dingy now, would we? As the boar continues to run off towards the north, you veer off the path, and you
Thank
see...
you, Pharrell. I look forward to being with you on this epic quest that has brought us together.
You know what, Nix? Because you're riding, I guess the three of you are all riding on the cart together, so you all would notice that obviously the heavy iron cage dominates the wagon bed, but wedged into the remaining space between your goods and that cage are an assortment of smaller cages and creatures that the hunters appear to have gathered. You see a baby tortoise no bigger than a helmet. You see a bright-eyed, feathered rat chittering nervously from inside of a wicker crate. And then you see a shallow wooden tray lined with leaves where a nest of plump caterpillars undulates in a slow rhythm. As you continue on through the wood, the dense moisture begins to dissipate a bit. The hunters lead you on a trail that coils between curtains of moss and the wide roots of ancient dead trees. After a time, the ground begins to even lift beneath your feet, the bog falling away into shadowy pools behind you. The air grows clearer and the dense canopy parts just enough to reveal an outcropping of pale stone ahead.
Safe spot for night.
Good view. Nothing gets close without us seeing it first, and that's the important bit. That's why we camp out at Clintus Perch. As the cart sort of takes you up this winding pathway, you eventually come to an outcropping in the rock up above the rest of the bog, where you can see quite far over the dead tree canopies below. You see there are remnants of a campfire, like this may be a spot that's been used often. And as the cart pulls into the cleft, you notice that it actually goes about 20 feet into almost a cave. They settle the cart near the back and keep the boar leashed, but unbuckle it from the cart itself so that it can lay down and rest. You see Pharaoh kind of gives it a firm pat on the back, maybe ruffling its fur a little bit. Atta girl, that's a good girl now. Oh, had her with me for quite some time, and she has proven her worth 100 times over. Now, I don't know if...
Did we get a short rest? I would otherwise have channeled divinity to create an extra spell slot to cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. I can say that on that ride, you definitely would have gotten a short rest. In which case, I will hit the short rest button for all of you. First, we'll do Ayla. Ayla, you have 3 hit dice. You can roll. It will be 1d10 plus 2 for each of them. So you can just type that into the chat, !R, however many hit dice you want to roll, and I will mark them off for you. And do all your healing. And we'll go down the line for that short rest. Aw, Nyx leans her head onto Pharaoh as she rests. Whoa. Why did it do that? 2 1d10. I'm not sure what that should have been, but you should just roll !R 2d10. Looks like my code maybe is not quite as bug-proof as I hoped. But it sounds like you're doing 2d10, so you'll get 2d10 plus 4. Because it does factor in your constitution. Okay, so 12 plus 4, 16 healing for you. We'll mark off 2 of your hit dice. So you are now back up to 17, just above bloodied range here. As we move on to Nyx, your hit dice are a D8 if you would like to roll, and you have 3 of those, of course, if you would like to roll as many. Yeah, and you have a Constitution mod of 2, so you can add that in there. You can do !R 1, however many D8 plus your Constitution modifier however many times. So like +4 if you're doing 2, or +2 if you're doing 1. Oh, Matt Steely, welcome in. Matt, that'll be for you if you want to roll the hit dice for Nyx here over that short rest. You have 3 available. 2d8 plus 4. Nice. And 11 is how much you rolled. Good deal. So Nyx getting a good bit of healing, bringing her almost back to full. I guess that is the bright side to not having that many hit points in the first place. 13 out of 16 is where you're at. And then Thalindra, as you short rest, you do still have 9 temporary hit points. You're only at 18 out of 27 of your actual hit point total, and you get a d8 as well. Looks like you're already rolling. 1d8 plus 3. Nice. So 5. Not the best roll, but a little bit of healing goes a long way. We'll factor that in, bringing you to a total with your temp 32 out of 36. So definitely looking like the tank at this point. As all of you benefit from that long rest, you pull into Clenna's Perch, the outcropping recommended to you by these hunters, and Pharaoh gathers himself once again as he does a couple of chores, sets about telling his 2 men what to take care of before they get a bit of rest, and he turns to you. I don't know how much experience you all have here. Nyx, it seems like you know plenty, but for the others of you, even this close to Darkwell, it can be hard to get a good night's sleep. You may notice that some of my companions and I like to use a bit of a sleep aid, you could call it. You are welcome, of course, to our provisions. Again, given the fact that you helped us out so much with that constrictor snake there, I think that I'd be more than happy to part with a little bit of our sleep aid if you would wish for that. Otherwise, it may be tough going for a night of sleep here. You may find yourself a little restless. Dreams are hard to come by in this place. Do any of you take him up on his offer?
I can attest to these ladies being as tough as I am, but will glad you accept your kind offer, big man.
Well, I am once again, of course, flattered. I do have to warn you, it's a little bitter, but just let it take you. Let it take you into that deep sleep. Maybe Rick Till can show you how it's done, eh? And Rick sort of the grung. You see him pull out a small pouch, dousing a small cup that he's filled with water. You see the liquid inside sort of turn this milky white as he holds it up and knocks it back in one fell swoop. You see his eyes go wide, his pupils dilate, and then he kind of moseys on over to the cot that he's already set up for himself and collapses just on top of it, like he barely
Last
even
use
made
of
it there
this
before
character
falling
for
asleep.
now. What exactly does this sleep aid contain?
A very good question there, Saf, this Ayla. Danny now piloting Ayla. Pharaoh turns to you and says, "Oh, well, if you must know, it's a little bit of an illicit substance called Ta'alva. It's something we make there in Darkwell. Like I said, it's a sleep aid, but I won't lie to you. It can be mildly addictive. You just don't want to rely on it too much. So,
Face with peeking eye emoji. Face with peeking eye emoji. Face with peeking eye emoji.
It can be a little dangerous if you get yourself hooked on it. But of course, you all seem like you're stand-up individuals. You maybe have your first taste here. Can't imagine you'd find yourself addicted to anything like this. Least of all, I won't supply you with another dose. I'm not looking to make you all into the sleep-deprived zombie folk that we see around Darkwell on the daily now, am I? You see Nyx, who is now taking a cup of this. You imagine that if it's anything like your fire water, you should be able to knock this back, no problem. Matt, as you've already agreed, I will say you take that swig, you down it, and I would have you make a Constitution saving throw, but as has been suggested by this individual, he says to kind of let it take you. Are you willingly failing the saving throw? Yeah, Zazima, it does kind of remind me of skooma. It's a illicit substance that's existed in our campaign setting basically ever since we started the channel. It was
Absolutely,
a big part.
ride the bullet.
All right. Matt, as you down it, you feel your dreams beginning to swell up from the back of your mind. Pharaoh steps in, and he sort of catches you as you fall. Your eyes sort of flicker from that amber into the regular sort of deep brown that they normally are as your eyelids close over. He kind of places his hand over your face and then finds your cot, rolls you out onto it. Wouldn't want you getting a crick in your neck after all. What about the other two of you? I'll at least stay up and keep watch. So I'll take that first watch if you two want to bed down for the night. After all,
Dear friends, before we venture onwards, I recommend to check our wares. The battle crier has made for us many flaws.
that's a pretty astute observation. I mean, you did carry along the rope. Looks a little bit worse for wear, and some odd turnips with faces on them. Look, I'm not gonna be shy on anyone's proclivities, but sometimes it gets lonely. I get it. So Danny and Russell, what do we think? Are we partaking in this dose of Ta'alva, and more importantly, are we allowing it to lull you into sleep? You see Nyx is snoring quite loudly, drool sort of running out of her mouth as she has turned her head to the side, even though her body is still just flat on her back. She's out like a light.
Felindra rests for the night, but doesn't take the sleep aid.
Takes a small sip.
Nyx is sleeping soundly and can't comment on the turnips and what she uses them for.
Yeah, who knows what those turnips get used for. But that sounds good. Felindra, you sort of rest into your cot as you attempt to fall asleep, but refuse the sleep aid. I totally understand. You won't get any pushback from me. I tried to partake as little as I possibly can myself. And you see now that there are some bags under his eyes. I don't get the best sleep, but I make sure I sleep well every now and then. It is wise to keep yourself well managed and alert. As he looks over now to Felindra, who sort of cautiously... Felindra doesn't take the sleep aid. He now looks over to Ayla, who kind of takes a sip. Ayla, are you willingly failing the Constitution saving throw that you have now imparted onto yourself? If not, you can roll the Constitution saving throw. Nyx fears no brew. That is definitely on brand for her. I think that was a very in-character choice. And I love the relationship being built between Pharaoh and her. What do we think, Danny? Failing the save or rolling a con save to see if you can resist the effects of this sleep aid? Yeah, Ta'alva has been in our campaign setting ever since our channel started. It was a big part of a certain character's backstory, and Darkwell by extension, has
I feel
existed.
the effects, but my thoughts linger still from the battle. Till dream takes.
Okay. So, Danny, as Ayla sort of lets the liquid sit for a moment before downing the rest of it, oh, you're gonna want to take the full dose if you're gonna sleep well. But I do understand you want to be cautious. Try it. See how it makes you feel. You feeling things go hazy just yet? And your vision is starting to kind of close in around you. And as he says, "Just yet," that last syllable echoes. Yet. As you see his features begin to sort of warp and distort a bit. Inspired camel. I don't trust this guy. Zezima, sleep aid. I will say, Russell, as you kind of let those dreams begin to take you, that smaller dose allows you to slip into sleep. But for Ayla, for Thalindra, who has not taken the sleep aid, I actually need you to make a Constitution saving throw for a different reason. Sorry. Is it Constitution or... Let me double check, because I had written this. Charisma saving throw. Sorry. Yeah, so Constitution saving throw if you're taking the liquid, Charisma saving throw for Thalindra here. Exclamation point R, CHA, save. The hunters are charming her. Possibly. Or this has something to do with the area. $18. Okay. Thalindra, as you begin to settle in for sleep, you do find for a moment it's a little tough to reach your dreams in a way that every time you feel like you're about to fall asleep and cross over into that realm, you're jolted awake, almost like that falling sensation that you may have every once in a while. But it's consistent, remarkably consistent, until finally you're able to push past that and almost force upon you a lucid dream rather than a nightmare. You are going to be able to attain a long rest, even though you didn't take the sleep aid. However, as you begin to sleep, I'm going to have you make a perception check at disadvantage. So exclamation point R, perception, DIS. What could that possibly mean? Okay. With your 17 perception, is that with disadvantage? Oh my god. Well rolled. We're gonna hold off on your very well made check here and push over to first Ayla. As you dream, heat presses against your skin as if an unseen fire roars just out of sight. You look down and see 5 jagged streaks of red searing across your right arm. They throb as if a fresh wound. Only no blood falls. Instead, your breath catches and your hands begin to curl into claws. The world around you begins to blacken into a ruin of charred trees, and standing among them are several silhouettes with jagged jaws and hollow eyes, all turned towards you in recognition. Ayla, what do you do in this dream turned nightmare? You feel as if you are in the deepest sleep of your life. to Alva, granting you a dream, but maybe not the one that you wanted. And looking out, you see just nothing but ruin and death, not unlike what you've seen so far on your adventure, but distinctly you notice a lot of these sort of animalistic shapes sort of hunched over with teeth bared and hollow eyes staring back at you as the moonlight sort of catches the glint that you might see like when a cat looks at you super late at night. Show no fear and embrace the dream. Could be good advice. Tom, welcome in. Never played D&D
I grip
before.
the handle of my mace and begin chanting for divine sense to make meaning to this eerie vision being bestowed to me.
Okay. As you pull out your mace and try and pull together your divinity from the ancients, you feel your antlers beginning to gather that divinity out of the air, but as opposed to them being attached to your helmet, you feel them attached to your head. You reach up and feel them now a part of you. Your snout is somewhat elongated. You see patches of fur now beginning to poke out from your once clear elven skin. I'm going to have you make a religion check for me. So !R religion. And your divine sense does indeed go off. That's easy enough. Ooh. Religion, RELIGION. Sorry, y'all. The spell check had to get turned off. Yeah, I think I spelled it right when I read it aloud. I'm not the best speller myself. I kind of rely on muscle memory with my keyboard. So go ahead and roll that check again for me, Danny. I want to see how well you can communicate with the Order of the Jackalope. Not sure why the extra RG was in there. You almost had it. You almost had it, Danny. Just take that RG out. One more time, my friend. Sadly, I think the system gets a little confused when there's extra input in there. Really working hard on getting something new out for all of you to make this a little more seamless, but want it to be perfect first. Wait, what are you doing, Danny? It's !R religion. Just that. No extra letters. Oh, and I did
The silence.
the silence. I did also forget to mention I put out a new membership homebrew pamphlet just yesterday. So if you guys are members, make sure to go and check that out on our membership page. It has tons of homebrew from our normal stream campaigns, as well as some stuff from our last Chat Plays D&D campaign that you can use in your own games. Complete with tons of amazing homebrew, magic items, art. It's really well put together, if I do say so myself. We have an awesome artist working on it. He does all of our stuff, and I'm very, very proud of what we get to put together every month for you. Hey, you did it, Danny. Natural 20. He was just warming up his dice. Zazima, welcome into the Ayla slot here. As you benefit from this natural 20, you feel the divinity around you is scarce. And in a way, you almost feel like prey amidst a field of predators. But whenever you remind yourself of the oath you swore, the horns atop your head now, you recall that no matter what form you take, this divinity will always dwell inside of you. That light pours out, and as it does, you see the creatures begin to vanish, but one stays behind. You look down and you see your own form has returned to you. But as that individual steps forward, stepping out of the shadow and into your light, you see they place a clawed hand onto its own grotesque markings on its chest.
Hello, sister.
You recognize the face of your brother, twisted and mangled into a bestial form as your dream begins to fade into something else. And here is where we're going to jump over to Nyx. Nyx, cold hands squeeze at you from behind, dragging you into a narrow alley that you didn't notice before. The walls twist, stretch, and close until they resemble the tight, crooked corridors of the Hidden Hand Syndicate's warrens that you are all too familiar with. Black gloved fingers clamp over your mouth as a dozen hooded figures emerge, their eyes glinting in the dark. What do you do in this moment, Nyx, as you are grappled by several hooded figures now appearing all around you in this place that you thought you had escaped long ago? Matt, I'm so glad you're in the driver's seat here. You've been here for all the campaigns, so you know what's going on. And Tom, no worries. If you haven't played D&D before, we can guide you through the process. It is relatively simple, and our system does do a lot of stuff for you, even though it can be a little clunky at times. Inspired Camel, thanks for the 200 chaos points. That BOGO coming in clutch. What do you think, Matt? Saft, it's just chaos. You don't have to type chaos points 200. It's just chaos 200. If you want to contribute, of course. For those of you unfamiliar, the chaos, when it gets triggered, will make something very good or very bad happen. It's always chaotic. We never know exactly what it's going to be. And it does roll over between campaigns. So if it doesn't get triggered tonight, you'll have a chance to do it the next session and the next after that. It is consistent through all of our campaigns. Whoa! Danny with the 24 hundo coming in. Damn. It's got to be getting close. That crystal's nearly cracked. So what do you think, Matt? I'll give you a little bit more time. Oh, I missed that. What do you need from me, Matt? Yeah, you are currently grappled by several hooded figures in your dreams, and one of them has stepped forward. Before they say anything, I'm giving you a chance to either try and escape their grapple or say something to them. But this is a nightmare that Nyx is having. The Zima coming in with most of their chaos points. Woo! It's adding up. Yeah, to kind of take you back, we know that
Nyx would like to see what they say first.
Okay. Nyx, you struggle for a moment, but then as you see this hooded figure, you recognize this place as the Warrens of the Hidden Hand Syndicate, a syndicate that you thought you had escaped long ago in Darkwell. You decide to settle down, feeling that sense of familiarity and knowing that it'll be better to only cause trouble when you're absolutely sure you can get away with it. The individual walks up.
You thought we forgot. We do not forget.
Your limbs weaken, your voice vanishes, chains form around your wrists and bind at the center.
We won't allow you the chance to betray us a second time.
Shadows begin to swallow the world until only your own dim reflection remains, hollow-eyed, powerless, and caged. With this, we now move to Thalindra, who rolled a 17 on her perception check with disadvantage. Thalindra, as you begin to drift off into your dream, you feel roots coiled beneath your feet, pale as bone, shifting like living serpents as they weave into a cradle around a slumped figure. You see your father murmuring without lifting his head.
Why did you come?
Pale roots begin to tighten, curling up his arms. What would you like to do, Thalindra, in this dream that you're having? It's better to only cause trouble when you're sure you can get away with it. Good D&D advice. I agree, Inspired Camel. I like that line. I might have to set that aside for a short or something.
I try to pry the roots off of him.
Okay, I'm going to have you make either an athletics or a nature check. I will let you decide. As you approach your father, with the precision of someone who is used to nature and probably has run into an assassin vine a time or two. You begin to reach in and try and pry these roots off, but your choice and skill check will determine how you're choosing to do that. So exclamation point R athletics or exclamation point R nature. You decide. And we'll see how that turns out for you.
Sorry, my audio cut off after I sent message. What did I miss?
Assassin Vine is what they called me in school, JK lol.
Assassin Vine is what they called me in school. Nice. Russell, you are either making an athletics or a nature check to pry those vines off of your father. Your choice and skill check will determine how you're doing that. And it may change the DC. It may even change the outcome, but I'll let you decide. Either athletics if you're just trying to rip them off, or nature if you're trying to find a way to gently remove them. Nature with an 18. Very nice, Russell. You move forward in understanding that even if these vines are pale and dead and nearly lifeless, they are still life, and life you respect. As you begin to pry the vines off, you see they respond to your touch quite easily, almost as if they don't require much coaxing. Pulling them off of your father, you hear him again, still staring down at the ground.
Why?
You follow his gaze to the packed dirt, where one of the roots bears a solemn expression. Your mother, withered and gray, dry-eyed once, not sure what she is now, sleeps beneath him. And it's at this moment that within your dream, because you rolled so well on perception, you feel something crawling up your arm. It feels like some sort of insect. And as you look, you see a root there, but you know that's not what it is. Especially with your nature check, it feels like something else. What do you do in this moment? You are deep in sleep, but you may be able to wake yourself up You may be able to try and slap at whatever it is, but I'll leave that decision up to you. What you decide to do will have some big implications here, so no pressure. Valindra's mom, yeah, the Dryad. You guys wrote that into her backstory, and I absolutely love the fact that she is the child of a Dryad. It's not something you see often. It makes sense as to why she would become a druid after that. So what do you think, Russell? What do you do as you feel something crawling up your shoulder? It feels like an insect, but when you look within your dream, you see a root sort of climbing
I try
up.
to gently, but firmly brush off the crawling creature.
Okay. I'm going to have you make an animal handling check. Straight roll, no disadvantage or advantage, but this will determine how well you can brush off the creature. I know that sounds weird, but I promise there's a reason I'm asking, and you may learn of it here shortly. So !R, animal handling. Okay. Valindra, as you instinctively go to brush off the insect that you feel crawling onto you, knowing just by instinct that this is not a part of the dream, you shoot awake and you notice that the insect on the ground is one of those small worm-like creatures that you saw in the tray earlier. As you sit up, you see Ricktil, the grung, sort of jumps back, hands at his sides, clutching at a hand crossbow that's almost as large as he is. And when you look down at your hand, you see already the back of your palm, where your pinky is, has already begun to swell as you've brushed off this caterpillar and you have been stung by them. I'm going to have you make one more Constitution saving throw. So !R, con save. I'll say you can see that your friends Ayla and Nyx are still quite soundly asleep. 14. Okay. So, Valindra, as you wake and are able to stave off the effects of this caterpillar that you've been stung by, you feel your senses returning to you. You see the worried expression on the grung's face, and you now see Pharaoh turning away from the lizard folk that was carrying Nyx into the cage. The constrictor snake is laid out, is still within the cage with Nyx as she is being hauled in. Damn it, Ricktil! I told you to be careful with that. She's gonna wake. You are awake, and you are understanding now that you and your friends may be in more danger than you realized. As we begin combat, I'm gonna have you and only you roll initiative for now. As a matter of fact, we'll do this. Thalindra, you're gonna roll initiative, and your two friends are gonna roll at disadvantage, but just know they won't be acting just yet. Oh boy, that's an 8. So Thalindra rolled an 8 on initiative. Ayla, I'm going to have you do !R initiative DIS. That'll give you disadvantage on the roll because you are currently asleep. We'll only use this for if and when you wake up, but that'll be up to you. So Ayla, !R initiative DIS. A 2. Can't expect much from disadvantage there. Nyx, you'll be doing the same thing. !R initiative DIS. /20 with disadvantage is pretty nice. Okay, so as we begin our initiative, First to act is going to be Pharaoh, who is now revealing himself not to be so much a friend, more an enemy, as he is going to, instead of pulling out a hand crossbow, pulls out a pistol, levies it at you, Thelindra, and fires. And that is where we are going to go on a quick break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Don't go nowhere, and be ready to bring some chaos because, well, they might just need it. See you in a bit. Bye.
Oh, terribly sorry. I didn't know anyone would be here while the stream was running. Give me a moment to tidy up. It's much better. Well, while you're here, we might as well take a moment to thank all of our members for supporting the channel and bringing this stream to life. A huge thanks to Tides of Mo, Tabletop Beard, Grim Reaper, Atmos Seeker, Justinian of Darkport, Angel Jobert, Angel of Darkport, Brett Venable, Dutin 103, Zebek Longfang, Lil Tired, Memebot 69000, XIVM, Jason Miller, Corey of Darkport, Devin Beard, Wilfredo Figueroa, Ruby Rod, Sam Huffpower, Daniel Struve, Agile Monk, Moon Goose McQueen, Jude Eshett, Russell Mooney, Alicia Harding, Saft 911, Defiant Chaos, James Carr, Felsi, Dan Stuffin' Drazani, Vinny Salsa, NKLO, I Know What You Did Last Roll, Matt Buchanan, Core, Renarius Ash Kevrin, Zach Transfer, Blue Perry, Alphabet Apostate, Sugar Cube, Trevor Neal, Chef O'Death, DH, The Lovely Scrub, Zap4, Deathbird EX, D'Angelo Barton, Geeko, Logan Keller, Artificial Duck, Sean Rim, Terrence Thompson, Ira Wing, Ashik McFry, Raiden Nail, Joe Tipton, Hellhound, Primal Kane, T. Rito, Reddit Chuck, Luffy, Lions, Wolf Uzamike, Wisdra, Bot, Threated D, The Drow 29, The Azure Sky, Bacon and Vodka, Chris Nelson, XRP General, Potato Bob, Garen Blackmore, Alasan Gaming, Curtis Ellis, Aaron Barogan, Tom Rocket, Tom Server, Chaos the Truth, Andrew Brown, Bob Zippity, Goddamn Cam, Meta Lisa, and Flynn. You know, members get tons of unique benefits as well, like these weekly shoutouts and emojis that they can use in the stream chat, and a heaping helping of chaos points that can be used to, well, perhaps it's better to show you.
Welcome to Constructed Chaos, a D&D live play channel where you get to control the game. Join us on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Time for our in-person live stream that allows you to influence our adventures in major ways. From alternate plot points to rerolls to absolute chaos. And tune in on Mondays at 7 for our brand new Chat Plays D&D format where you get to roll the dice and pilot the characters themselves straight from the live stream chat. And between it all, there's tons of homebrew content and guides that we release every single month. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. And until next time, go out there and make some chaos.
Greetings, viewers. Bramble Backfoot hopping by to let you know about our monthly homebrew packets issued to all those brave enough to join the ranks of our prestigious order. With a plethora of items, monsters, mechanics, and more, it's easier than ever to bring chaos home to your table. So become a member and let's fight the forces of evil together.
Thank you, you're all too kind, and the drinks are on me tonight! Ha 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 ha! Oh, you must not have enabled gifted memberships! Let me show you how. Ha 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 ha! What you'll want to do is make your way over to our channel page and then add /allow_gifts. From there, you can turn on the toggle for free stuff and join in the chaos. Ha 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 ha! Now for my next tune, a little ditty about a dead necromancer named Pinky.
Hello, Drazad here. Oh my god, you have got to come check out all of our wares. We have so many different things. Help support the stream and get yourself some new magic items as well over at the Constructed Chaos store.
Perfect beard brew, perhaps lizard wart, or giant scorpion venom, and a watcher's eye stalk. And just a little dust of undryness. Not one of those crafting table! Smells pretty good, actually. Fireball! Bring home the chaos of juniper forest and magical embers with my own personal beard products in partnership with Tabletop Beard. Owlbear Dritz here, letting you in on a little-known ranger secret that'll keep you satiated in the wild, even when you have no rations left. Ew, not that. I'm talking about subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell icon. It's easy to miss the signs of a stream going live if you're not prepared. So make sure to do that and... What was that? Hold it right there, adventurer. We're looking for some deviants that refuse to like this video while they're still watching. You wouldn't happen to know anything about this heinous crime, would you? Well then, as you were, but stay out of trouble.
It appeared out of thin air when they found it, as if by the will of the plains themselves. A curious and mysterious bauble that has turned up time and time again throughout the ages. Some have studied it all their lives, hoping to unravel its uniquely fascinating magical properties. Many more have used its power for their own, though all falling victim to fate in the end. Now, it calls to you. By chance, by destiny, by desire, it matters not. It calls to you, and it calls to be cast from your palm, so that it might deliver unto you the unknown wonders held within.
How much longer are they going to... Oh! Excuse me. Are they still not back? Wait there just a moment. I'll fetch them for you. The little chaos gremlins. You have people waiting, you know!
Welcome back, everyone, and congratulations to Tom Servo for your 1,000 chaos points in the raffle. I hope you enjoyed them, man. Put them to good use tonight. Like I said, I think they may need some chaos here because this is the combat we're looking at. For those of you who can't see the entirety of my chaotic map here, this is the cleft that you're all staying within. So I can zoom in on that. but this is kind of a pathway that leads up to it from the bog below. It's quite an expansive map, so certainly don't feel like you have to stick around in this little cave. But as things are right now, it is only one of you awake. The other two of you are unconscious on the ground. You can see the lizard folk was carrying Nyx up onto the cart and dropped her there as the bandit captain, Pharaoh, is now leveling a pistol at you and is going to fire 2 shots, Thalindra, towards your chest. The first is going to be a 6. 2 plus 4 is certainly not going to hit you as he levies another shot, this time not shooting from the hip, hoping for a little better luck. That will be a 16 to hit, which I believe does hit you, Thalindra, just barely. So with his 16, as he fires that pistol at you, you're going to take 8 points of damage. You feel the bullet embed deep in your skin. You're able to avoid a shot to the chest, but it does sink deep into your arm. That's going to bring down most of your temporary hit points, but you're still looking pretty good here. The situation, on the other hand, is not so great. As you kind of survey the surroundings, you see your allies are still soundly asleep. Even after Nyx was moved somewhat, it seems like you might have to shake them awake if you're actually going to get them up. As we move on from the captain's turn, we move to the grung that's standing in front of you. He's going to shoot that crossbow at you that he's already got in hand. That is a nat 1. Oh my god, the luck.
Starts randomly.
Right. The second bandit, the lizard folk, who has just dropped Nyx, is clamoring for his own hand crossbow and fires it haphazardly at you, Thalindra. Oh my god, that's going to be an 8 to hit, which does not hit. After you take the bullet in the arm, it wakes you up fully, and you leap out of the way. You tuck and roll as 2 crossbow bolts go flying through the air, one sailing off the cliff and the other clattering into the cavern wall. As we now round the turns to the giant boar that is in here with you. It is going to begin charging at you. You see Pharaoh sort of hear it coming up from behind. He gets skinny against the cavern wall as it barrels ahead, and it's going to try and gore you with one of its tusks. This dice is going straight to dice jail. That's a 2 plus 5 for a 7, which is not going to hit you. As you continue that roll and roll an extra time out of the way, the boar misses as it comes to a stop just in front of you. Kind of gives you a little kiss. I should have sticky tacked these guys. With that, now, somehow, we have come all the way around to Thalindra's turn. Thalindra, Saft, what would you like to do in this moment? Your 2 allies are down for the count. You see there's a constrictor snake in the cage that they were hauling them up to, but the cage is still closed. Perhaps that constrictor could help you out if it comes to it. But that all depends on what you do next. The bison is breathing down your neck. The grung is a little ways away from you. They're not quite in melee because they fired that crossbow. What are we thinking, Saft? Danny says, everyone hashtag free the snake! Free the snake! That's a dangerous hashtag to be using on the internet, by the way. I don't know if you should adopt that one. My DM says that if you change dice, you tell a different story. That's true. I didn't like the story this dice was telling. It was nat 1s, 2s. I think there was a 5 mixed in there. Nothing good. Dang. Tom, I just saw the 4,720 points that you contributed. That's big. That's going to go a long
Wild
ways.
shape into lion. Bonus action. Go wake up allies.
Okay. So I love the wild shape into lion because it is one of my favorite wild shapes, but unfortunately you were a draft horse and then you were a brown bear last session, so you are out of wild shape uses. I did make sure to mark that and double check it on the break. They come back over a long rest, I believe. So I don't think that you'd be able to wild shape, but you can go and try and wake your allies up. You will have to choose one. It's going to take an action to try and do that. Is it a free thing? Oh, our resident druid just popped her head in to let me know that you can spend a spell slot if you would like to get a use of your wild shape back and turn into a lion. I'm going to double check that, but I think that might be true. It's a magic action to expend a spell slot to cast Find Familiar. Yeah, I don't see the bit about getting a use back. I do remember that being a thing, but I don't know exactly how it works. It might be a higher level feature. But for right now, you won't be able to wild shape. However, you can try and wake up one of your allies. You'll have to choose. I will say, you may not know this, maybe a little metagamey, but Nyx did roll very well on initiative, and perhaps you can cause a domino effect that way. Meta Lisa coming in with some chaos. Oh boy.
Wake up Nyx.
Okay. You rush over Thalindra, and you see Nyx is already somewhat stirring after being dropped on the ground, so you hedge your bets and begin shaking her wildly. That mic is off, by the way. Shaking her wildly as her eyes begin to blink awake. Nyx, you awake to a upsetting scene. After developing such a great relationship with Pharaoh, the bandit captain, you realize that you've been had. You see that Thalindra is hurriedly shaking you awake, and your ally Ayla is also asleep next to you. Thalindra, that is your action. If you have a bonus action, you can use it, but if not, we're going to go ahead and move on initiative. Just let me know if that changes. We're now moving on to the bandit captain once again. Yeah, I heard you. The bandit captain, Pharaoh, now looks across to Nyx, who's waking up, and he... Don't worry, I would never hurt you. And he's going to point the gun at Thalindra again. And I'm using the same dice for the record. Okay, that is better. An 18 to hit you, Thalindra, does hit. Rolls a second shot. Another 18. 2 13s back to back. That is unlucky. But Thalindra, you are going to take 16 points of damage, bringing you down low now to just 8 hit points. As you hear Pharaoh fire those 2 shots off, the echo of the black powder rippling through the chamber. You see Pharaoh now call out to his allies, "Don't damage him too hard. We're gonna need him. Don't rough him up too bad." As we now move from Pharaoh's turn to Nyx. Nyx, you see that your former friend has fired out upon you. I shouldn't have put this so far away from me, but damn, it just looks so cool. I couldn't help it. Nyx, you are technically prone.
Nyx, in a love lust-induced rage, uses firebolt directly at Pharaoh.
Okay, roll to hit. Exclamation point R, INT, attack. $17 will hit, I believe. Let me double check. Hold. Yes, it will hit. You see the bandit captain tries to pull out a scimitar and deflect the attack, but before he can, your firebolt sneaks through. Go ahead and roll 1d10 damage. So exclamation point R 1d10 to see how much damage you deal to your once thought friend. Eight. Good roll. As your firebolt connects, you see it singes some of the leathers that were caked in mud before, and as it does, you see him sort of pat it out under one of the pockets that you've sort of singed open. You can see a bit of paper that he's being very careful to put out with his hand. Moving on from your turn, unless you have a bonus action you'd like to do, just let me know. You are, I guess, technically still prone, but I imagine you're standing up. You do still have a bonus action and your movement, or at least half of it. But that being the case, while we wait to hear from you, the other two bandits are going to go. Seeing you now awake, I'm going to say the lizard folk up on the cart is going to fire his crossbow down at you. That's a 13 to hit.
I
that
wake
will
up
miss.
and grab my sword. I will smite using nature's wrath once I've rolled initiative and from being woken up.
Nyx would like to move between her sleeping sister and danger.
Okay. Nyx, you are currently between Pharaoh and your sleeping sister, but you guys are mostly surrounded. You can see the grung has got a pretty clear line of sight, but you're at least bracing against Pharaoh and the lizard folk where you are. We'll say we move you a little bit closer to the Lindra here. Oh, careful. Careful, SpongeBob. With that, you're able to try and shield your friend from danger as the lizard folk fires a little bit brazenly. You're able to dodge out of the way. You hear the bolt clatter across the ground as the frog behind you curses. And he's going to try and take a shot from behind you. That is going to be a 13, I believe. Yep, 13 to hit. And on you, Nyx, that does not hit. That exactly doesn't hit. As the second bolt goes flying just past your face, sort of brushing your hair in the wind, maybe snagging a bit on its way to the back of this cavern that you find yourselves in. You thought it would be a welcome respite, but instead it is quite dangerous indeed. We now move to the giant boar once again. Your friend Ayla is still sleeping, unfortunately. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, this would be Thalindra. Sorry, Thalindra, you go before the giant boar. So, Thalindra, what would you like to do in this moment? You've taken quite a bit of damage. You woke up Nyx, and your friend Ayla is still asleep. You can see that the odds are a bit against you here. You're outnumbered and possibly even outgunned in the best case scenario. Matt Steely, thank you for the chaos points. It's getting closer. Might need that chaos now more than ever. And a general reminder for chat, specifically Tom, I'll let you know, I did forget to mention at the beginning of the stream, but the system does look to make sure you've been active in chat in the last 5 minutes before it makes its selection, mostly so that it doesn't pick somebody that's just idly watching and not paying attention. 780 chaos points from Renarius. Thank you. Yeah, that might be why. It's hard to know for sure. Sometimes it's just the luck of the draw. It is fully random. I can attest to that.
Can I find cover, half or 3/4, with my movement and hit the Fearbolg with Mind Sliver?
Cover. It's going to be hard in this cavern. With your full movement, I think you could kind of round the outside of the cavern and get maybe here. And then from that position, I would allow you to try and hit the Fearbolg with Mind Sliver. So you rush out around, sort of skirting the edge of the boar, seeing that you may need to shield yourself from further damage. You attempt your own attack here with Mind Sliver. That is a int save for Pharaoh, which I just realized sounds like an Egyptian king. That's a 2 on the die, so he fails. Go ahead and roll 1d6, and he'll subtract 1d4 from his next attack roll. Saving throw. So roll 1d6 for me. We'll see how much psychic damage he's about to take. 5. You guys are rolling pretty hot on the damage dice, at least. As you connect now with Pharaoh, he brings his pistol hand up to his temple. As you see, he's got a bit of squirmy as he brings down his blade and begins to step forward. Sort of that facade of that suave facade fading away now for the sort of brash banditry that lies underneath. We move on to the boar. The boar, since it's right next to you, is just going to try and rut you with its tusk. That is a 14 to hit, which on Thalindra just misses. The boar ruts. You use the cavern wall to hang on as you sort of lean over the edge to get out of the way of it and then catapult yourself back in. You are able to stave off this attack just a bit longer as we now move back to the top of initiative with Pharaoh himself. He is going to try and fire on Nyx now, seeing that you've escaped and are maybe outside of the range that he would like to fire on. So, now you don't want to forget about your friends, do you? As he fires that
BRB.
pistol. BRB? Oh no! Pharaoh gets a 11 to hit Nyx, which will miss as you hear the bullet pew, 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 clattering around the chamber. He fires off another. Not the oh my god, a nat 1. He's not the best shot in the world. I cannot believe how poorly he's rolling. He you know what? I'm going to say he takes the pistol and he throws it across the ground as it clatters, pulls out that scimitar. He says, I like this one better anyways. As we now move to Nyx's turn. Nyx, what would you like to do? Your friend Ayla is still fast asleep next to you. I'm sorry, Ayla. That's why you haven't been able to go just yet. But Nyx, it is your go. Pharaoh has taken a little bit of damage, but isn't bleeding just yet. And the other two bandits are firing haphazardly. What would you like to do, Nyx? These damn weapons, they manufacture such wonders and they can't even fire straight. What is he, a stormtrooper? Am I right? What do you got, Russell? Yeah, Pharaoh sounds like a Egyptian ruler, but it's Ferrow. Whoops. It happens every now and then. Every DM's guilty of it.
I wake Nyx up, then use my bonus action to try to pick the lock on the snake's cage. It can't make things much worse.
Okay, since you're using your action to wake up Ayla, I will definitely allow you to try and pick the lock using your bonus action. And specifically, if you'd like, I would allow you to do that using your mage hand, since that's a bonus action anyway. So your mage hand can be out, kind of picking the lock as you shake up Ayla. Ayla, you wake to the sounds of gunfire and the clatter of crossbow bolts as you see a snake sort of hissing at the edge of the cage. Nyx picking the lock, your eyes go wide, just from the nightmare you were having, much less the nightmare you're waking into. Nyx, I'm going to have you make a sleight of hand, or rather, we'll make it a Thieves' Tools check, but just roll sleight of hand for me anyway. It should be the same. So, !R, sleight of hand. We'll see if you can get this snake into the battle. I can't promise it'll be entirely your friend. 18 is gonna. You see, you fully distracted Zakar, the lizard folk who was firing on you just a second ago. As you wake up,
Damn it, they've woken another one. Rick Till, your stupidity has no end.
as he then turns to hear the the lock crack open, the chains fall loose and the snake begin to slither out. You see his eyes go wide.
Oh, shit.
We're gonna move the cage off here and put the snake in.
I like that.
Sometimes I just be saying stuff and then I hear what I say and it's not great. With that, Nyx, you are able to get your friend Ayla up. You are able to open the door containing the snake. And I will now move from your turn to the two bandits. I'm going to say, dang, how scared is Zakar of the snake? Not very. He's going to fire on Nyx. Once again, the surest shot. Hoping to find purchase here. A natural 20 he rolls. So that will certainly hit. Nyx, you're going to take 7 points of... Sorry, no. It's 9 points of piercing damage. I was looking at the scimitar attack. So 9 points of piercing damage is already going to do quite a bit to you here. As that attack catches you by surprise, expecting the snake to distract them, turning to see he still has that hand crossbow trained at you. He fires. The bolt sinks deep into your lower abdomen. As you go to pull it out, you realize it's already exited out the back of you, dealing quite a bit of damage on its way through. The other individual, Rick Till, is going to fire on you as well, hoping to hedge their bets and bring you down. That's going to be a 6, which misses. As you stumble due to that weakened side of the bolt going through you, you hear another bolt go sailing through the cavern, nearly striking the snake itself as it watches the bolt go by and then turns, hisses at the bandits that captured it. You now begin to realize these are poachers. The snake is going to make a constrict attack on Zakar. That is a failure. Zakar is grappled by the snake as he is pulled tight. You see his bulging lizard body bulge even more. His eyes begin to pop out of his skull. As he is going to take 7 points of bludgeoning damage. You see blood beginning to drain out of his nose. He's coughing, hemorrhaging, nearly out just from that one attack. As we move on to Thalindra's turn. Thalindra, you're still facing off this boar around the corner. What would you like to do? And Ayla, don't worry, you will get a turn this time. Danny, another 100 chaos points. We got to be getting close here. It's got to be getting close. It's divided into 5 stages, and you guys started this on the last stage, and it's 66,000 points, roughly. So, I think we're close. Russell with 40? Saft, what are you thinking for Thalindra here?
I'm gonna hang with the boar and cast Moonbeam on Pharaoh.
Okay. And Moonbeam, I already forgot from last time, I think is a con save? It is. With that, you could get... yeah, if you got Pharaoh and Zakar in the same Moonbeam, you would also get the snake. I'll let you pick if you want to get more than one, but I'll roll for Pharaoh at least. Might be making an enemy there if you choose to get more than just Pharaoh in this. Pharaoh Pharaoh rolls on his con save a 14, which...
Yeah, get everyone.
Okay, so Pharaoh is going to save, unfortunately, just barely with that 14. As he sees the moonbeam coming on from overhead, he raises his scimitar to try and deflect most of it. It still brushes him up against the cavern wall as we roll for Zakar now. Same number, but he might have a different modifier. It is a 13. He will fail, and the snake will now roll. That's a 3 on the die. It will also fail. So Zakar's the only one, or sorry, Zakar and the snake fail, and Pharaoh succeeded the save. So for Moonbeam, that's 2d10 damage. And they take half damage as well. That's important. 15 good rolls. Very nice. So the snake, unfortunately, is going to take 15 points of damage. But as it does... you see Zakar bathed in moonlight, that sort of bluish glow all around him, contrasting with the red of his blood seeping through its eyes. The snake coils him tighter, and you just see him go limp. You hear the crack of bone as the snake releases him. The snake now looks a bit bloodied, but is still up after your attack. Zakar is down. You see Pharaoh driven into the wall, does take 7 points of that damage, and is not quite bloodied himself. Still standing on his own 2 feet as he turns. It's hard to find good help these days. So we move on from Thalindra's turn, unless Thalindra would like to do anything else. You do have a bonus action, I believe. We're going to move to the boar's turn. That boar is going to make another gore attack on you. That one, I think, will hit. Okay, Thalindra, with a 22, the boar finally sees you distracted by your spell casting and ruts at you with its tusk. As it does pierce you, you take 10 points of piercing damage. However, the boar was not charging, so you aren't knocked prone. Thankful for that. Oh no. But 10 is enough to do it. Thalindra, as the boar gores you and ruts you up against the ground, dragging you, you feel your consciousness fading. The pain in your chest burning as your body begins to fall away into the land of dreams or nightmares. You're not sure which. You drop. Nyx, you see this as the boar turns to now face you. As we move on from Thalindra's turn and the boar, we move to Ayla. Ayla, you see this as well. You are prone, but you are awake as Nyx is just shaking you up. You see Thalindra is down. Nyx is a little worse for wear, and one of the bandits is down as well. What would you like to do? Zima, it's your go. That boar was rolling poor for a little while.
I wake up from the dream, then toot, then use my longsword to channel divinity nature's wrath the enemies.
Okay. Channel divinity nature's wrath. This is one that used to be kind of bad, but is pretty decent now. And I believe, yeah, it's still a magic action. Each creature of your choice within 15 feet, and I will say you can get all of the enemies. The snake is the only one that's really out of your range, and I'm not sure you wanted to try and grapple them anyway. So that's a strength save, I believe. Yes, and DC 13 by the looks of it. So first, we'll roll for Pharaoh. That's an 18 on the die. He's going to succeed. The boar comes next. That is a 15 on the die. He also 15 total. That also succeeds. And finally, Rick Till. That is a 12 on the die. Or sorry, 12. I keep saying on the die. 12 total as Rick Till is swarmed by vines that fly out from your form as soon as you take that first step onto the ground. That radiant energy conjuring into silver vines that enshroud your enemy. You see him try to leap away, but it grips his foot and wrenches him to the ground as he croaks. As we move on, well, no, it's still your turn. That's an action. Do you have a bonus action or anything else you'd like to do? You are able to restrain Rick Till here. Sorry, my condition rings are elsewhere. Oh, no, I see them. They're right here. Let's see. I believe that's restrained, right? The end of each of its turns and restrained. There we go. Okay. You got Rick Till there, not looking so hot. While you think on if you want to use that bonus action.
Shield of Faith and walk over to Thalindra.
Okay, nice. As you see, Rick Till has been subdued. You kind of make eye contact with him as you slam your maul on the ground, and a giant shield conjures, I imagine, around you, maneuvering across the battlefield towards Thalindra. I think Shield of Faith is +2 AC? Almost positive. Yes, +2 AC, and you are concentrating. You move to Thalindra, eyeing the boar as glowing sort of silver energy flows around you, warding you from whatever attacks it may be able to make. You have a 20 AC for right now. As we now move from your turn back up to the top of initiative with Pharaoh. Pharaoh, just barely able to escape the blast of that moonbeam, is going to now, instead of trusting that pistol, use his scimitar. He's going to run up on Nyx. He says, "Sorry, I guess it wasn't meant to be." He swings that scimitar at you. That is a 9 to hit, which misses. You dive out of the way. And a 22 to hit, which will stick on you. As you dive out of the way, you see him grin, almost like he was expecting you to move that way. Seeing how nimble you were in the fight before, he drives his scimitar across your back, and you take 6 points of slashing damage. Nyx, are you still up? You are not. Nyx, you fall unconscious. No sooner than gaining consciousness do you fall back to your nightmare. We move from Pharaoh's turn after those 2 attacks. He sort of looks down at you. Pity. Nyx, it would have been your turn next. You are unconscious, however, so I will have you make a death saving throw. Normally, I roll these in secret, but I think it's more fun to let chat do it. Roll 1d20 for me. That'll be you, Russell. May the dice roll in your favor. A 19. That is a success. We'll mark that down. As you all know from the first Chat Plays D&D, I do not pull punches, so if your character dies here, we will be rolling a new one. As we move on from your turn, it is now the Grung's turn. He is restrained. He'll get to remake that save at the end of his turn, but you see him wrapped in vines. He barely is able to get his crossbow out. He levies it at you, Ayla, and takes a shot. It is disadvantage. With that, it's an 8. As the crossbow bolt flies across the chamber, you don't even turn your head to look. That's how confident you are. And as it sears past you, guided by the silver winds that surround you, your shield of faith, it is thrown into the darkness past this cliff, and you don't even toss him a glance as he tries to struggle out of your grasp. That is 11 total. He does not make it. He is still restrained as we move on from his turn to the snake's turn. The snake, now seeing the one that freed it down, is going to close on Pharaoh and make an attack. Getting in close behind him, you all see a shadow begin to loom overhead of this furbolg. He turns around, sort of tipping his hat up with his scimitar as the constrictor snake tries to loop a section of its body around him and constrain him. He is going to try and make a strength save. That's a 5 on the die. I don't think that's going to make it. 7 total. No, sorry. 9 total. Still does not make it, as he is going to take 7 points of damage from the snake that you freed. You see, just like the lizard folk before him, blood beginning to bubble out of his nose, his eyes growing wide. Please help! I didn't mean it! As we now move from the snake's turn to the Lindra's turn. The Lindra, you are unconscious. I'm going to have you make a death saving throw. Just like Nyx, I hope the dice roll in your favor. Exclamation point R, D20. Natural 20? No way. Really? I gotta double check. That really just happened. Hell yeah. Okay. The Lindra, you are up.
Oh damn, and now I'm in lol.
You are up at 1. And you get your turn. What would you like to do? Tom, welcome in. Yeah, I see that. Tom, the Lindra succeeds her death save. She wills herself awake, knowing that her friends are in danger. You see your friend Ayla standing over you. You are still prone in front of this boar, but you can and will fight here with 1 hit point remaining. What would you like to do? I can't believe that. You guys are coming in clutch here. That's you laying down there. Had to pull the focus for that epic natural 20. And you know, sometimes you get nat 20s when they don't matter. That one mattered. Danny says, get Nyx out of there. She is just shy of a constrictor snake that is now grappling Pharaoh. Certainly isn't looking great. I think Pharaoh failed the saving throw if that Mind Sliver 1d4 was not rolled.
Yeah, would I be able to get Nyx out?
I'll give him the extra 8 damage. Thank you for catching that. I always forget it. You certainly could. If you would like to try and stand, you'll have half your movement remaining. You can at least get to Nyx with that. I'll say from there you could start to drag her out, but it's gonna be tricky. You may need to create a situation where you can escape. But at the very least, you can get to her this turn. You'll still have an action if you would like to do something else during that move. And thank you for the $5, Saft. I really appreciate that. I will mark off that extra 8 damage that Pharaoh would have taken. I need to be better about Mind Sliver. Yeah, it's easier to remember whenever the players are around the table and can remind you in the moment, but I understand this format's a little more finicky. I'm trying to take as much off of our plates as we possibly can, and I have some stuff in the works. It's coming. I promise. Hopefully this week I'll have more time. So what do you think, Tom, as you're able to stand and make it to Nyx, but you still have an action? I know you said you've never played D&D, so I'm happy to help you out here if you need. In terms of actions that the Lindra might have, you do still have quite a few spell slots. So If you'd like to throw out something particularly strong, you did cast Moonbeam before. I forgot to mark that. You could try and cure wounds, Nyx. That would be really useful to get her back up and back in the fight. You could try to Mind Sliver or Starry Wisp on Pharaoh, who is currently grappled, but could use with a little bit more undoing.
Yeah, I'm looking at the spells now. I cast
perfect.
Cure Wounds on Nyx.
Perfect. That's such a great idea. So go ahead and roll ! R 2d8 plus 4. And that's going to determine how many hit points Nyx gets back. But you're definitely bringing your friend back up. And that is very, very valuable in and of itself. 9. Okay. Nyx, no sooner than you drop to the ground, hit your head on the stone beneath you, do you open your eyes to Thalindra standing above you, maybe a knee. You see her clawed hands on your chest, pushing out this vibrant green wild energy that kickstarts your heart as you wake back up from being unconscious. You have 9 hit points. It is not quite your turn yet, but you may be able to make use of that still. We move on to the boar's turn. Based on where the boar is, it sort of tracks Thalindra as she's moving around it. And as she skirts around Ayla, it sets its sights on you. Oh! Chaos has been constructed! Ah! Okay, here we go. As all of you are in the throes of this combat, just as the fight threatens to turn against you in the worst of ways, you see at the entrance to the cavern an explosion of feathers, leaves, and furious sound. Thalindra's owlbear companion barrels out from the undergrowth in a streak of brown and white, eyes blazing with protective fury. The beast plants itself between you and your attackers, feathers bristling and beaks snapping in a warning that echoes through the small cavern. Here is your owlbear, who will be joining the fight now. And I said she is going to position herself between you and your attackers. I'm going to say right here is where she's going to find herself. That is one full cave, and the owlbear says, "It's mine." And you rolled very well for that chaos saft, because the owlbear happens to be last in initiative, as the boar does make an attack on Ayla. That is going to miss a 7 plus 5. I believe it's a 5. Yes. 12 definitely misses you, Ayla, as you bash it away with your maul. It's somewhat distracted by the screeching owlbear that moves through the cavern. As we now move to your turn, Ayla. The owlbear is last in initiative, so it'll go after you. But Ayla, what would you like to do? You see now the tides of battle have turned in your favor, and you may yet be able to save the day here. All of your friends pulling out all the stops,
Thalindra, your feathered friend is getting extra treats when we get out of here.
Oh, hell yeah! And they should be. Your friend unlocking the cage with the snake, summoning that owlbear.
I will use my maul to hit the boar and bonus action ensnaring strike.
Okay. Go ahead and make an
Give
attack
them
roll.
all the treats.
Exclamation point R, STR, attack with your maul as you bring it down onto the giant boar, hopefully with a strike that sticks it in place. That is crazy. Everybody has contributed in a big way to this encounter. Ooh, a 10. 5 on the die plus 5 is not going to do it. As you slam them all into the ground, you do not expend the use of your spell slot because you actually don't have any spell slots remaining. You wouldn't have been able to do that, I don't believe. But as your maul clangs into the ground, you see vines sort of sprout out from it. The boar rears back as it before it lands on top of your vines, you see them crushed under tow, the immense weight of this boar bearing down on them, and then it eyes you as if conveying the threat. We now move from your turn to the owlbear, who is posing its own threat. The owlbear, instantly understanding the situation thanks to Thalindra's connection to it, makes 2 attacks on Pharaoh, who is still grappled by the snake. Natural 20 for the owlbear. And 4 plus 6? 7. 12 will not hit. But the natural 20 does! That is going to be 23 points of damage. And that is going to do it for Pharaoh. As the owlbear screeches and the snake holds it in place, the 2 titans working in tandem, the owlbear plucks at his throat and rips out his jugular. As you see Pharaoh go limp, the snake releases him and begins to recoil, looking for its next victim. Pharaoh is no more. You have but 1 bandit remaining, as well as a boar on the battlefield here. But because Pharaoh was next in initiative, we now instead move directly to Nyx. Nyx, you are just waking up on the ground. You are prone, but you are alive and ready to rejoin the fray. Incredible use of chaos, tactics, all of it. All of you are doing so good. Tom, you especially came in clutch with that cure wounds, man. That was good. Good stuff. But Nyx, you got to bring us home. What do we got here? Serves you right, you dung digger furball. You see Pharaoh's eyes, you know, as he's bleeding out, he's sorry. That's it. That's his last words. Perhaps longing for a different path he could have chosen. 5 stars from Inspired Camel. 5 stars indeed. Owlbear Crizit. I just caught that, Saft. That's really good.
I stand and toss firebolt at the grung.
Okay. As you stand, you toss a firebolt towards the grung. You are going to roll at advantage because they are restrained. So exclamation point, INT, attack, ADV. Sorry, complicated equation there. Exclamation point R, INT, attack, ADV. I'll stand you up here. Everyone's just kind of leaning. It's the after effects of the Ta'alva. 24! That will certainly hit. Roll a d10 to see how much damage this grung is taking. Exclamation point R, 1d10. And fire damage at that. Hope this grung is not incendiary. Nine! Great roll. As you drill this grung with the firebolt, he's struggling to move out of the way, but instead he is held in place by the vines ensnaring him. And as that firebolt connects to his temple, you see him. You see he is singed, scorched. His eye is actually swollen over from the fire damage you just dealt him, but he is still barely up. Are you doing anything else, Nyx? I'll let you tell me. I'll let you decide. But in the meantime, that grung is going to try and take a shot at you. Yeah, at this point, I think he knows he's going out. He could shoot at Thalindra, who's looking weaker, but I think he wants the revenge on you after what you just did. It is at disadvantage, so tough luck for him. That is a 9, which is going to miss. He fires the crossbow yet again, just out of his periphery, not able to fully look at you, and you hear it clanging around inside of the cavern. He's going to try and wrestle himself free now from these vines. That is a 14 exactly. He is no longer restrained, but he is not looking good. As we move on from his turn, it is now the constrictor snake. And that constrictor snake is going to... what does he want to do? Yeah, I don't know if he recognizes the boar as his most immediate enemy. He's going to move on the grung that just escaped and try and lash out with a bite attack. Okay. With a 11, does that hit? It does not, just barely. The grung is able to escape, climb up onto the wall, and as the snake goes out to bite, he leaps off onto the ground, landing as you see his head sort of bob, fading in and out of unconsciousness. He barely is able to keep himself from being swallowed by this constrictor snake, which I will move here for convenience sake. Moving on from that, we now have Thalindra. It is your go. What would you like to do, Thalindra? Seeing your owlbear has now joined the fray, come to help in your most dire hour. What do you got, Tom? Still got some more cure wounds if you want to try and pump yourself up. You have this boar standing in front of you if you want to try and drop them. And you have the grung who's on their last leg but currently being attacked by a snake if you want to try and take them out. It is worth noting that the grung is the last bandit that you have here. The other two creatures...
Can I cast Cure Wounds on myself?
You absolutely can. So you cast Cure Wounds as you see some of that healing brought to Nyx. Seeing her in a good place, you now cast the same spell on yourself, hoping to give you some longevity. That is going to be 2d8 plus 4. Go ahead and roll that for me. See how much healing that you're going to get yourself. $11. Okay. Once again, tank is tanking. As you are back up to 12 hit points, feeling your wounds beginning to stitch closed, relying on that natural adrenaline that you channel from your wild shapes when you transform, you are able to stave off the effects of unconsciousness there, moving from 1 hit point to 12. You do still have a bonus action if you would like to try and do anything. I'll let you think on that. While you do, I'm going to move on to this boar's turn. And you can move as well, unless you want to stay where you're at. If you move away from the boar, I know you said that you haven't played D&D before. If you move away from the boar, it can take an attack of opportunity for on you. So you may or may not want to do that. It is up to you. Regardless, the boar is going to try and make at least...
Thalindra, I hope you speak snake, because it's almost out of poachers to attack.
That is a good point, as Nyx shouts that out to her friend nearby, maybe even training a knife ready to strike at the boar, knowing that once these bandits are gone, who knows where these animals may stand. The boar attacks you, Thalindra. That is going to be an 18 to hit, which will hit. You're going to take 10 points of damage, but thanks to your healing, you are not brought down. The boar gorges you again, expecting the same result as earlier, where it drove you unconscious, but unfortunately for it, you are more sturdy than it anticipates, and you stay alive after driving yourself off of its tusk, blood curdling at the edge of your mouth. We move from the boar's turn to Ayla. Ayla, what would you like to do? That's you, Matt. You currently have Shield of Faith up. You've been untouched in this combat since waking. And you have this boar standing in front of you that just attacked Thalindra. You have a bandit almost dead behind you. And you have this constrictor snake that appears to be playing friend for now. but who knows if that will last. It's up to you if you want to risk it. The owlbear 2, of course, is here. Somehow. Can't believe you guys.
Ayla would like to use the maul on the bandit and try to topple it.
Okay. Turning your attention to the bandit, you close on them, and as you do, the boar is going to take an attack of opportunity. That's a 2 on the die. That's definitely going to miss your 20 AC with your Shield of Faith. Go ahead and make an attack roll on this grung. It's going to be !R STR attack. No advantage because they're not restrained anymore. There we go, Matt. 8, unfortunately, is not going to hit. Dang. I don't know if Ayla's landed a single hit with this maul. As she drives it into the ground, the grung hops out of the way. Again, sort of dizzied and off balance due to their almost passing out from the last attack. You are unable to hit them. Is there anything else that you'd like to do with your bonus action? Be thinking on it. I'll let you tell me as we move on in the initiative to the owlbear. The owlbear knows the score and is going to turn and attack the boar that just attacked its friend, Thalindra. Oh my gosh, I'm knocking everybody over. There's too many minis in this cave.
Would anyone like me to perform lay on hands as a bonus?
You are out of lay on hands uses currently. If you guys want to look at the stat blocks in the description below, you can have that pulled up. Just make sure to refresh it every once in a while in case things get updated. But lay on hands is out of hit points currently. You guys did not get a long rest. The owlbear makes one attack on the boar. That is going to be a 21 to hit. That's going to hit. And a 19 on the die lands both attacks on the boar. Each of them dealing 14 damage for a total of 28. As the owlbear catches it by surprise, digging its claws in and then ramming its beak into its soft underbelly, pulling out a plethora of viscera, scattering it onto the floor. You see the boar begin to enrage. You expect them to topple and flee, but instead they appear to grow more manic and more desperate. As we move on from the owlbear's turn, back to Nyx. Nyx, what would you like to do? That'll be you just back there. I guess I can put the cage back now that the snake is out. You guys...
Sorry, still trying to figure out my bonus action.
That's
I
okay.
use steady aim to hit the boar with a firebolt.
Okay. Steady aim with a spell. Is that a thing you can do? I've never even thought about that. Is it just an attack roll? Because if so, that changes some things. Next attack roll. Hell yeah. !R INT attack ADV. Yeah, you give yourself advantage there. Very nice. Very nice. Oh my gosh, that's definitely going to hit. And who were we training this at? Let's see, that was going towards the boar. Okay, as you levy your attack against the
Nat
boar...
20.
It is unfortunately not a nat 20. It is a 15 plus 5. It's an unnatural 20, but it still hits, and you're going to get sneak attack thanks to that advantage as you fire the firebolt into the head of the boar, now completely enraged. I'm going to have you roll 1d10. Or no, do you get sneak attack? It has to be a weapon attack, huh? Shoot. What I mean to say is, of course, that's why I didn't give it to you earlier. Yeah, it is going to be !R1d10. fire damage on the boar here. No sneak attack. It has to be with damage. A weapon attack, sorry. Filthy, dirty 20. So go ahead and roll that 1d10 for me. It'll be you, Danny. Exclamation point R, 1d10 to see how much damage you're dealing to this boar. Let's see. 7. You guys are rolling very well on these D10 attacks. 7 damage as the fire drills into the boar. You see its coat burnt to a crisp. You see its skin underneath even scorched a bit as it rears back. It is still rutting and galloping and trouncing on the ground. It is not quite down, but it is very, very much so bloodied. With that, you are out of your action and bonus action. We're going to move on now to the Grung's turn, who is still around somehow. He is going to... he's going to action disengage and start running. Leaps
Can
over
I
the
use a
snake.
spell for the bonus action?
Unfortunately, you used your bonus action for steady aim, so no. Oh, sorry. This is for Thalindra, huh? Oh, Tom, yeah. I would allow you to use a spell for a bonus action, yes. Because, well, it needs to be a cantrip because you cast a leveled spell on your turn. But, Russell, I'll let you decide that. Thalindra still hasn't used her bonus action as the Grung, Rick Till, now hops over the snake, barely able to make it past its jaws as he begins to run. You hear him as he runs down the mountain path here. I don't know if you can see him. If I turn the camera a little, might give you some vantage as he's attempting to escape and possibly get allies. We're going to move from his turn back to the snake. The snake is going to turn, chase after him, and make one more bite attack. That is going to hit with a 13 on the die. It lunges forward as the Grung continues to call out for help. What you can only imagine is help. I don't imagine any of you speak Grung. Its jaws wrap around, and as you wonder if it was able to grab him, the snake turns around, faces all of you, and gives you a big as you see the frog-shaped bulge in its neck go down its body. It turns to all of you, looks for a moment, flicks its tongue. Its eyes linger on you, Nyx, and then it begins to slither back down the mountain pass towards the swamp below. The snake and the Grung are out of this initiative. As we move on to Thalindra, what would you like to do, Thalindra? We're going to say that bonus action is gone. It's your turn now. And things are looking a lot better than they were on your last turn. You have but one enemy remaining, and now the tides have turned in your favor. Kermit is dead. Yeah, that Grung, I don't know how they lived for that long. They've only got a 12 AC and 11 hit points, so... Saf says maybe a weapon
I cast
attack?
Speak with animals using a spell slot to try to talk the boar out of combat.
Okay, I like this idea. I like this idea a lot. Thalindra, as you turn to the boar and try and de-escalate, it is in a rampaging fury. First, I want you to tell me exactly what you say to the boar in Thalindra's words. And then I'm going to have you roll an animal handling check. It could be at advantage if you give me a reasonable enough plea. You see its masters have now either fled or been dealt with, and perhaps this boar doesn't hold any more allegiance to those individuals now that they are gone. I'm eager to see exactly how you try and rein this boar in.
The poachers are all gone, and I have no wish to see you slain. Please, let us make peace.
Okay, Thalendra, as you make this plea to the boar, and you can see the urgency reflected in its eyes, you lay down your own weapons and bring yourself into a non-threatening position towards the boar. You see its temper tantrum begin to calm a little bit. I'm going to have you make an animal handling check at advantage. So !R, animal handling, ADV. We'll see if that works, because animal handling is 2 words. I wonder if that's going to mess with the ADV. We'll see. 19 and a 3. Very, very happy for the advantage there with a 23 total. You see the boar begin to relax as you see some of the blood beginning to spill out from its abdomen. It kind of shields itself against the wall, looking at the gap. Ayla, you kind of catch the hint and you step aside as the boar begins to trample off back down the mountain pass you came up. All of you, the 4 of you, including your owlbear companion, are now out of initiative and left in these dark woods alone. What would you all like to do? What could it all mean?
My sisters, are you all okay?
Looking out across your sisters, you can see that most of you have taken quite a beating, but have been healed pretty well. I don't think any of you are bloodied at this point. As a matter of fact, Ayla's even surrounded in sort of this silvery aura that seems to be protecting her even further. Your owlbear companion took no damage at all in that combat.
Ugh. Can't believe I was swooning harshly for such a swindler.
It's always the bad boys, isn't it, for you, Nyx? As you look across the cavern that's now full of...
I give the owlbears a hug and thank him for his help.
Absolutely. Thalendra, as you close your grasp around your owlbear companion, you feel them nuzzle into you. You're not sure at first if they're just wiping off their beak.
Like I always say, the ladies are better.
The ladies are certainly better. Took out the men in short order there. They thought they could pull one over on you, and they almost did, but not quite well enough. Thalendra, as you sort of nuzzle up against your owlbear, you come to realize that they are quite the sturdy ally, and they are willing to come along with you, but it is going to be dangerous for them. And you may worry just a bit as to what fate may lie in store for them now that they've been summoned by some chaotic forces beyond your control. Nyx, I'll say, as you're kind of looking across this battlefield of dead bodies and blood sprayed across the cavern wall, your eyes do eventually train onto Pharaoh, the man that you swooned over briefly, and you see that same pouch that was incinerated open by your firebolt before. where there is a slightly charred piece of paper sticking out that he was furiously trying to pat out earlier. What would you all like to do? You are still short of a long rest. You have not done that yet. But as you've discovered,
I need
it can
a
be hard
river
to
to
do
cleanse. These events have brought upon needless stress.
so. Yeah. Nyx is definitely feeling the stress, having returned to the land from whence she was from, the land that she ran away from in her youth. That alone is enough to send you back to therapy for a couple of years. But this is something else entirely. Ayla, what are you doing as Thelindra sort of nuzzles up with her owlbear companion and Nyx counts her lucky stars for being alive, not falling for that swindler's swindling? I'd say this the scene is now a pretty apt setting for what's happening. It's not quite the cliff
Ayla is
cabin,
happy
but-
to be out of combat but still suspicious of the area and time of day.
Okay. Ayla, I'm going to have you make a survival check to determine what time of day it is. It's still dark out, but as you cast your gaze above, you can see that it's quite overcast, so it may actually be day. Maybe you can tell where the sun is if you roll well enough. So exclamation point R, survival. Okay, with an 11, as you bring your gaze up to the sky, you can briefly, faintly make out what you think might be the sun, but through the clouds it could just as well be the moon. You're not even able to locate the scar, which is an ever-present indicator in the sky of some calamity that happened long ago. But the cloud cover is just that dense, you're not sure what time of day it is, or time of night. But you do see there is something providing light almost directly overhead. So it could be noon, or it could be any other time. What are you guys thinking as you kind of look over this
Do we think
bandit
we should
camp?
rest here or try to move on for fear of more danger?
That is an apt line of questioning. As you kind of look around, maybe the bandits were right that this place is the least dangerous. It certainly looked like there was a campfire lit before you got here, or at least an area for one. So it could be a place that they use often. But what do your allies think? Nyx, Thelindra, what are your thoughts here? And I wonder how equipped you are to sleep in such a place. Now that the Ta'alva has worn off, you may have to make another check just to get some sleep. Should you
Can I tell
find...
if this place might be used by more than just the poachers we've killed?
Absolutely. I would say go ahead and make another survival check. This will be Thelindra, of course. So exclamation point R, survival, to determine how often this place is used. I think that makes sense for that check specifically. Sometimes I might trend this towards investigation, but I think survival is probably the right one for this. Especially with the way that Thelindra would probably look for any sort of natural signs of people being here.
I'd like to use a luck point for advantage.
Okay. You do that. I'll mark off your luck point. Add ADV to the end of that little dice equation.
We're in the open. I still remember the worst types of creatures lurking. Far worse than the constrictor. I remember a cave in the south that I hid once.
Oh, absolutely. I think Nyx would recall this area quite clearly. And Russell, with your 13 on survival, kind of looking across the floor, you do see signs of other bandits, or perhaps these bandits staying here previously. You can see there are remnants of old kills, perhaps. Animal bones, maybe the bones of animals that didn't make it back with them. You can see, of course, the remnants of that campfire, and in particular, you can see a number of cookwares that seem to be sort of stashed here for cooking out when they need to, so they're not weighing down their cart. So certainly this gets used by them and possibly other people pretty often. I think Nyx would certainly recall some of the creatures in the area, though you tend to try and avoid them more than brute force your way
I tell
through.
Ayla and Nyx what I found and suggest we may want to go somewhere else.
Okay. Ayla, Nyx, seems like Nyx is feeling like this place is a little too out in the open and is worried about what sort of danger that may present. So Ayla, I think you're outvoted here, as the three of you begin to move on from this bandit halfway hideout, leaving behind the dead bodies of the bandits you've slain, their cart, and your supplies. I'm not sure if you want to grab anything or if you want to look around before you leave, but you certainly can do that now. Ayla, I'll let you weigh in before everybody leaves, just in case. And we'll see exactly what you guys want to do. And
Ayla will grab the stuff from the cart.
Okay. Ayla begins grabbing the turnips, throwing them in a sack over your shoulder, and then grabs the loose bundle of lucky rope from Bramble as you all begin to trudge out from Klenna's perch, the overlook that the bandits
If no one else
tried to
has,
subdue you.
I'd like to grab the note from the poacher boss.
Oh, okay. Belindra, I'm going to have you make an investigation check as you reach over and begin to pull out that slip of paper. You see a number of small pouches that may contain other interesting pieces of parchment. Okay. On a 6, unfortunately, the only thing you're able to find is the slip of paper that resides within Pharaoh's top pouch. You can tell that he cared quite dearly for it. As you pull it out, you see a bundle of small wanted posters. You kind of flip through them. The top one says, wanted alive, dangerous beasts, small, 5 silver pieces, medium, 1 gold, large, 3 gold. So you imagine the snake probably would have fetched a pretty high price for them. As you flip it around, you see a few more describing specific beasts that they may be looking out for. In particular, you see one describing the caterpillars, which appear to be key ingredients in making ta'alva based on the poster. And finally, that last poster, as you flip around, you see says, Zashi strays, wanted alive, 10 gold pieces. And you feel your heart sink as you come to realize that the poachers were never after the snake. They were after the 3 of you all along. Each one of you might have fetched a price of 10 gold from this wanted poster, this wanted ad that says you would have been exchanged at Grimroot Tower. Grimroot Tower in Darkwell. So that may be a lead that you have to follow up on, but for now, you feel as you pull these notes out, you may be in further danger if you linger any longer. So you and your allies gather your things and begin maneuvering out from Klena's perch back down the way you came. I will say, who is leading the pack at this point? I know before it was Nyx because it was kind of the area you came from. If we'd like to stick with that, we can.
Ayla will.
Ayla will lead the pack. Understood.
Nyx takes in the terrain, recalling vividly her steps towards the cave once brimming and shimmering with limestones and white sand. A odd cave, but one I know has repelled the monsters.
Okay. I'm going to say, Ayla, you're leading, and then Nyx maybe kind of grabs you on the shoulder and tries to recall an area that is safe from monster attack and banditry. Nyx, I'm going to have you make either a survival or a history check. I will let you pick. Because you're either trying to remember a place you've seen before, or you're trying to glean where one might reside, given your expertise on the area. And based on your abilities, I would imagine you'll want to do. Oh, they're the same. So you can pick. So either history or survival. Exclamation point R, history or survival. On the bright side, Thalindra can wild shape into a giant constrictor snake since she saw it. Absolutely. In the new D&D, you can wild shape into anything even before you see it. So, good point of note. Definitely keep that in mind. I know piloting a druid's going to be a little tricky for me and chat because you're going to be bouncing around between different creatures, but it'll definitely keep stuff interesting. With an 18, Nyx, you do indeed recall a small limestone cave just a little bit further towards Darkwell. You'll have to trudge through some of the murkier waters of the area, but if you're able to travel for a couple hours without alerting any of the other creatures to your presence, you may be able to get there safely. So with Ayla leading the pack, I will have all of you roll stealth checks. So, Ayla, I'll have you go first. Exclamation point R, stealth, DIS. You have disadvantage on stealth. Then I'll have the other two of you roll stealth separately after Ayla. Not bad for disadvantage. A 15 for Minari. It's very sorry. Yeah, Saft. Nyx. I will have you roll stealth. Straight roll. Exclamation point R, stealth. I do have a DC in mind here. You'll all need to beat it on average. 21's going to help out the average, certainly. Thalindra, you're last. I'll have you roll a stealth check for me. Exclamation point R, stealth. Oh, sorry. Thalindra, did you roll? Seems to have been some confusion on that one. Oh, I see. I see what happened. Saft rolled a 13 there. I must have missed the first one. Yeah. I see the first one actually might have been a little lower, but we'll take the 13. On average, I believe that gets you guys about 16. My math could be off there. But I will say, as you maneuver through the dense bog of the area surrounding Darkwell, recalling your past travels through this bog, Nyx, you're able to give Ayla directions on exactly where to stand and how deep into the bog to go without causing too many ripples in the water that may attract predators or more sturges from above. You do eventually reach the limestone cave that you remembered. You inspect it thoroughly to make sure that there's no other wildlife in the area. Perhaps your owlbear even tips you off towards the presence of no other predators in the area. The place is quite wet, quite damp, but It should prove safe from any creatures in the area because the water is somewhat fetid and unmoving. It doesn't look like much would live here other than all of you. You crawl into the cavern, and as you all near a level of exhaustion, you're breaking down from your weariness. I will have each of you, if you're going to sleep or entering a trance, make a charisma saving throw. You no longer have Ta'alva to rely on, so you'll have to make these charisma saves to make long rests. And yes, that is going to be a theme in this campaign. It's going to be pretty gritty, but I think you guys are up for it. Ayla, if you are going to sleep, I'll have you roll first. I'm assuming one of you will always be maintaining watch. I want to see if you can sleep first. Ayla, unfortunately, with a 6, you are unable to find sleep, and so take a level of exhaustion. Nyx, I will have you roll a charisma saving throw. Nyx, with a 2 on the die, a 3 total, unfortunately, you also find it hard to sleep here, especially after being aided last time by Ta'alva. You do not find dreams, you do not find sleep, and so take a level of exhaustion. Thalindra. Oh, hang on. That was Thalindra that failed it. Sorry, you guys are going out of order and you're throwing me off here. Ayla, Renarius, I will have you roll the final save to see if any of you are able to stave off the exhaustion effects of the area around Darkwell. So exclamation point R, CHA, save. What is Chas save? Yeah. You got to have save in there, otherwise it doesn't know what to do with it. Sorry. I promise I'm good at coding. I promise it'll get easier later. You guys have done extremely well up to this point, but as it stands, 2 of you are not going to be able to rest, and will rest but get a level of exhaustion. 17, Ayla, you are able to rest without getting a level of exhaustion. But all of you do find sleep, at the very least. You hear the water bubbling and burbling on the edges of this bog as you have crawled deep enough into the limestone cavern that there is dry ground where you lay out your bedrolls. The owlbear reeks of wet dog after crawling through the swamp for so long, or perhaps that's all of you. Nyx and Thalindra, you have a very hard time finding sleep, but you do get the benefits of a long rest. You just end up waking up feeling a little bit more tired than you were before, with a level of exhaustion. And I will say, as the 3 of you wake to another gloomy day of overcast sky, or perhaps night, with Nyx and Thalindra rubbing the edges of their eyes, trying hard to focus through the exhaustion that they now carry, Ayla, realizing that whatever divine forces reside within you were able to grant you a peaceful dream last night.
I forgot how rancid this damn cave is. Or how utterly shitless I was when I heard its roar.
That is where we are going to end our session for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for being such a pivotal part of tonight's session. Things were pretty dire there, and they needed a lot of help. You guys were able to get that constrictor snake out of the cage, become a tank, basically attracting the attention of the other bandits so that your allies could help themselves up, and summoned an owlbear in the nick of time to help you get out of a tight spot. I am so thrilled with where this campaign is heading. Be sure to tune in next week on Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time for more of a Decay and Darkwell, and check us out on Wednesday for another episode of The Wicked Worm, where we're going to be picking up right where we left off on another massive chaos-induced cliffhanger that ties directly into this campaign and the events that are transpiring as we speak. But until then, all of you go out there and make some chaos. Bye!